Go.
Yay, we're back again. Here we are. So, hello, welcome to Monday Night Paranormal Live. Andrew's back from cruising around the world. So, she's back on dry land.
Yep.
Julie from Paranation Ghost Hunted Event. Luke, an investigator there, and myself, well, and no Jen tonight, she's out, but myself from Host for Ghosts. So, hello, hope you had a great week last week. We missed being on a Monday, but sometimes we need to rest ourselves. So, I was in Poland, so we couldn't get internet there, or couldn't understand how to get it in internet because we had Wi-Fi, but it was kept going on and off on the Monday. Well, the whole time we were there, Sunday to the Monday, but we didn't land till 3 a.m. on, which would have been the early hours Monday morning because there was a delay on the flight.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that feedback's on mine. I don't know.
I'm going to play around and mute mics now and again and see what happens.
Okay. So, hello, as I say, hello and welcome. So tonight we want to talk about the Conjuring House and people that are buying it to see whether you would buy the house, what you would do with it. Send your comments in. Let us know what you would do. Would you buy a haunted house, live in it? Would you let it out to do, hi Gemma. Would you let it out to do for people to go around and have a look like a tourist attraction? But then would you worry about the effects it would have on people, especially the Conjuring House, because we all know from previous films and etc. and all the other bits how dangerous that house has been. So the occupants in it. So would you think if you used it as a tourist attraction that people would be affected going in? How would you guarantee their safety if they're going in and not coming out with something? Which is what makes me wonder. I know it's still under auction at the moment, but there's a couple of forerunners that are going to look like they could well buy it. So send your comments in. Would you have it as a tourist attraction? Would you just have it, or would you just pull it down because of what the history behind it? What's your thoughts, Angela?
I don't know, because I haven't experienced the house myself, so without sort of knowing what is actually there, what to do with it. But I don't think I'd probably keep it just to investigate myself or have like private things. I wouldn't have it as like a money making thing or anything like that. Just to sort of keep it running and use it as like an investigation tool. But not in a mean way, not like exploit them or anything. But
Yeah.
See what I can learn from the place, really.
Yeah, that's interesting. Doing it privately, I suppose you could, couldn't you? Because you obviously see the films and read the story about the house and how evil the house was supposedly do. Luke, what would you do, Luke? Earth calling Luke.
Sorry, I can't hear you. I couldn't hear you.
You had your microphone on.
No, not that. It does that thing where I can't hear everyone speaking.
Yeah.
You need to get a laptop.
I've got one coming tomorrow.
Oh, right, nice.
Yeah.
What would you do with the house, Luke? The Conjuring House. What would you do if you could buy that? What would be what would you do with it?
Yeah, like have it like have people like hire it like for investigation and stuff.
What about their safety?
Gives you like have like put warning signs up and like do like Do you like do like a cleansing? I don't know. What do people do, like a prayer sort of thing to close it down or something like that? I think, yeah.
You couldn't guarantee everybody's safety
No.
going in, could you? Or coming out. So I don't know.
Yeah, difficult. Yeah,
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
yeah,
Gemma's, but there is no way I would live in it. But I think it would do as it as a tourist attraction. But I would get everyone to do a disclaimer form. That's good. Yeah, you would have to, Gemma, wouldn't you? Because it's quite an evil house by all accounts, you know, and you don't want people trying to sue you, especially in America.
yeah.
You know, they've got an attachment that's walked out with them, or, you know, they're going through torrid times because the house is quite evil. And by all accounts, you know, like Angela said, have never been there. Maybe it's a house that would be on your bucket list if you headed to America, you know, to go
Yeah.
to the Conjuring House and experience it. But I think you probably experience the terror
Yeah.
more than the house. Do you think? You know,
Yeah.
that's what I would. Sorry.
What is supposed to have happened there? Because there's so many different houses. I get confused with which house had which activity in it. Even watching the films, I can't. Was that house or was that house? I don't know. I always get confused.
Yeah, it's the house that I think, if I remember rightly, Perron's family lived in, and they had all sorts of like crashing, banging, children being moved around, very much bruises turning
right.
up overnight, quite horrendous, evil. And I think what I can understand from it, I read a bit about it a while ago when the new film was coming up, you know, the new Conjuring film, the Final Rites or something we saw a few weeks ago. And it was just like, I think what I remember is Bathsheba, I think, was a witch or something.
Yeah.
Who owned the house. I think is it Bathsheba? Bath something. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But I think she owned the house for a while, and they reckon it's her that's still there, but doesn't want anybody there. So she creates an issue with anybody who goes there. And I think, and it was one of the cases for the Warren family, I think, that ended up there investigating it for what it was. Bathsheba, I can't pronounce it now. It's something like that.
Okay.
So it's something to do with the 17th century. They said she was a witch that's cast a spell on the house. But all sorts of bruising, getting moved around, things thrown across the rooms, lots of activity going on. But even to the modern day, because I think some of the stuff from the house is in the Warrens Museum.
Yeah,
if I remember rightly.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Is that right, Luke?
Yeah, on the film they take people down there and have a look at the artifacts in there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Not allowed to touch it though.
Isn't that not where Annabelle is?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think that's where that Annabelle doll is there. It's either in the Warren Museum or it's like you say, there's so many houses that pop up. You think, well, is that their own house? Is that the house and so and so lived in? Is that what? So when you see the new film, The Conjuring, I don't know whether you've seen it.
Not yet.
And they go down and talk about a bit about the Warrens. They talk a bit about their museum. You know, how everything in there has an evil past, and you know you mustn't touch it, or all sort. They do tell you a bit about their museum. I don't know whether you could go around their museum to modern day now. I'm not quite sure, but I did when I was with Surrey Paranormal. I did an introductory 7 months with Joe used to do it. Sadly, they passed away now. And we became investigators for the Warren Institute. It was called the Institute of, I don't know what, Psychic Research, I think it was.
Oh, yeah.
It was run by their grandson, who carried on their legacy. Institute of Paranormal Psychic Research or something. So what they've done, they're very famous. So what they do is it takes you about 8 months, and you have to do various case studies for them. and then they sort of allow you in. Once you've done them and they are okay, then they allow you in. And then what it is, you become an investigator for the institute.
Oh,
And
cool.
what they do is hi Christine, they deal with demonic cases all over the world. So you get an actual sign in where you sign in and you can see what cases are going on wherever in the world.
Oh,
So what you have to remember also, a lot of demonic stuff is in Latin.
yeah.
So, you know, not unless you learn Latin at school, and I didn't.
No.
So what you can do is you can go on there and they will interpret what you're hearing. So if you record it, they would tell
Okay.
you in English, German, whatever, what you're actually hearing. And we
Yeah.
did a case, not going too much into it, in where were we? The outskirts of, there was one in Walton-on-Thames in a flat, and there was one on the outskirts, I'm sure it's Portsmouth, Portsmouth or Brighton, might have been Brighton,
Okay.
where they contacted us and said, would we go there and have a look at this case that's took a funny turn? And it was not obviously telling too much detail. It was a mum and a daughter in a first floor flat, really, really nice, you know, very, very well car looked after, very expensive, I'd imagine. And they were having issues with drawers opening, knives being dug into the top of the work surfaces. She'd been pulled out of bed. The mum's bed had been turned over. All these sorts of things, but they'd actually took pictures of it. So when we went in there, we sort of, you go in there and they have like a questionnaire where you have to say certain questions, and you're trying to gather the evidence, and then you bring the evidence back and present it to the Warren Institute, the Institute of Paranormal Research, and they sort of work out what's going on if they can, and you have to sort of case note it yourself. So what it turns out with, there was that one, Brighton, Walton. Oh, there's two in Walton-on-Thames, that's right, because there was a man as well. So the one in just outside of Brighton, yeah, it turns out, obviously, they've been there quite a while, but they're a collector of antiques, is what they mainly did. So they had a shop in Brighton collecting antiques, and they bought this very, very old busk from a lady in a house clearance, but the busk had been in this house for many, many, many years. So it's very, very old, worth a lot of money, apparently. And they couldn't get it in the shop. So what they did was took it home and stored it in the flat.
Oh.
And then once they entered the hat, it was all right for a few weeks because it was in one of the spare bedrooms.
Yeah.
Then they thought they could hear voices in the spare room, but there's obviously nobody there. So the case starts to build up where the voices were then heard inside the flat and inside the kitchen, and they couldn't work out what they were hearing. They kept thinking it was people outside. So they'd go outside, but obviously there was nobody there. And then it started to escalate where the drawers were open, the bits fell out, the beds would shake violently, the bed would be tipped up. And when they go out, they obviously put it all back. The girl would go off to school, the mum would go to the shop, and they'd come back and the house has been ransacked like it'd been burgled. And they had the police there 2 or 3 times because they thought it'd been burgled.
Yeah.
It's just like paperwork thrown everywhere. So they asked us if we would go in there. I was just quite new to it. Joe had been doing it for a while. So they'd come with us and we'll go in. And so you go. And the strangest thing, I always noticed when I walked in there, how dark it was in there.
Oh, right.
Even though the curtains were open, it was quite dark. And and I think, you know, they used to say, you know, if you got dark corners where evil could hide, or shadows hide in the dark corners, you know. And we said, oh, you need to open the windows, and she said, we can't open the windows because they're stuck. We can't get any of them open.
Oh, really?
Because they used to say open the windows would drive spirit out.
Yeah.
You know, if we cleansed it. So not only was it dark, you couldn't get the windows open either. And if they put music on, then the electric would fail.
Oh, no.
They'd lose power. You know, all these weird things. And then what it turns out is that the busk, because we said to them after talking to the Warren they said, well, what they need to do is wrap the bus up in tin foil and take it
Oh.
outside and leave it. So
Ah.
that's what they did. They took it outside, and the whole place changed. So they think that the bus was haunted by whether it's the lady that owned it or some sort of evil, some entity within the bus. So it was wrapped up in foil and then put away in a museum up in London somewhere.
Oh,
It was
wow.
taken off of them. And then the house, and when we went back third or fourth visit, it was bright light, windows were open,
Oh, wow.
just completely different. Just, it's such a strange. But
Amazing.
you could go on, click on the link, and then you'd have a special password, and you could see who was doing what cases all over the world, in Germany, Italy.
nice.
We've got investigators all over.
Yeah.
There's only about, I think she said there's 8 in this country that
Okay.
investigate for them. I've not done any. They deal with a lot of demonic stuff because they have Catholic priests that can go in and do exorcisms, and you know they're very much into that, like the films, isn't it? You know, we see them. They never deal with a happy spirit.
Yeah.
It's
No.
always an evil one, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, they always go looking for the evil one, or that comes looking for them. But
Yeah.
that's the cases for the Warren Institute. So it was interesting. The one we did in Walton, the guy, we actually saw a shadow behind him, followed him. It was like he had an attachment.
Oh, no.
And it was affecting him, and he split up with his wife, and his children had moved out. Whole life had gone down the pan very quickly. And they contacted the Warrens, and they asked us to go in because it was local to us, because I lived in Chertsey, which is 20 minutes away from Walton-on-Thames, so it's quite local. So we went there, and you could tell he had an attachment. I've never seen a man look so drawn, so all his energy had gone. And even when he walked around the room, you saw a shadow on the wall as he walked past, but the shadow wasn't him, wasn't the shape of him. So we quizzed him a load of times. He said, no, I haven't done anything. You know, I haven't opened anything, blah, blah, blah. The normal sort of thing. And then eventually he let it slip, and his mates had opened a Ouija board.
Okay.
So there's your start of your problem.
Yeah.
And we said, well, did you close it? What do you mean close it? Right. He said, well, it was a big bang and a crash, and we thought we saw someone run through the room, and we just all legged it. All the blokes legged it, and the board fell over and just laid on the floor for days. So eventually they plucked the courage up to go back, pick the board up, just put it away, thinking, oh, that's all right, it's gone now. But obviously it was actually there, and he went back to live with his wife and children there, and then gradually it drained his energy so bad. He was a nice person to live with, and they moved out, and he lost his house and all sorts, bless him. He really had a tough time of it, you know. And you actually saw, I think I might still have the picture of it. You saw him, and then this weird looking shape behind him, and wherever he went, the shape went with him. It never actually. So they ended up getting priests down there, trying to exorcise it and try and get rid of it. And the last we heard, that because obviously if you're not into that type, you're obviously not allowed to go to the exorcism, or you know, because I think what I understand, they can be quite dangerous or whatever. And the last thing we'd heard, he'd gone into like an institute to help him.
Oh, wow.
So he's quite bad with it.
Yeah.
And what was the other last? Oh, there's a woman in a flat, second floor flat, and she contacted the Warren because she was having an issue in the flat. Now, bearing in mind, she's on a second floor flat up, and a big main road that goes across the front of it. And then she sent us some pictures of a baby monitor. It was only her and a baby in the room. So it was like a 1-bedroom place. The bed was sort of far over in the corner. You had the kitchen on one side, the toilet, and all that type of place. And she sent us videos of like massive orbs moving through the house, but nothing untoward. And then the baby monitor, she could hear talking on the baby monitor, which she thought was quite odd. But she thought, well, maybe it's picking up next door. You know, have they got a monitor? You know, you can sometimes get monitors feed off of each other.
Yeah.
So she asked the next door neighbour, they didn't have a monitor. And then one night she heard the monitor switch on like it was recording something. And then when
Oh.
she played it back in the morning, what you could see was a woman's face in the back door.
Oh.
Bearing in mind this is a second floor flat with just a balcony overlooking the road,
Yeah.
and there was a woman's face looking through the door. And I've got pictures on it. I won't show you on here, but I'll show you on there. But you can actually see her with a bonnet and all of her clothes looking through the window.
Ooh.
So eventually we got rid of that. And then I was quite intrigued by that. So I started to do a bit of history search. And in Walton-on-Thames was a lot of places. With Walton, it's quite famous. There was a lot of executions there, all sorts of things happen in the square. So it turns out the flats that they were in was a pub built back in the 15th century. So the flats were actually on the footprint of the pub. So when you look back, and there was 2 or 3 women killed by army blokes from the First World War, and they were executed in the square. So when you actually look at the pub, as you go in the door, you go left, and there's stairs that go up to the second floor. And on the second floor would have been a row of bedrooms for ladies of the night, shall we say.
Oh, yeah.
So they would have got, that type of thing. So exactly where the stairs reach the top of the stairs, you turn right to go in the corridor, is exactly where her flat would have been. So we assumed that what she was seeing was the woman walking up the stairs and turning to go down the corridor, but the corridor was her flat.
Yeah. Ooh.
Really spooky one, but really interesting. Quite a few years. Christine's put quite a few years back. I had to call 2 local priests to bless my house. So much happened in my house. Both my daughter and myself had enough of it all. It's settled now. I mean, it just shows you we all have it's like here, I don't know about your house. We have knocks and bangs and voices here. But I think being we're spiritual, you just sort of, oh, all right, or hello. You just you just brush it off. I don't know about your house. What's yours like, Angela? Do you have that sort of thing?
Yeah, you just see like a shadow every now and again. Like if I'm in the kitchen, it's the other side of this window. Sometimes I'll look through and I just see like a shadow go past the little window. I'm like, who's that? No one's in. And then I just think nothing of it. It's like, okay. Or if you sat on the sofa and you've got the living room door which goes out to the hallway, and sometimes you can either see someone go past there who looks quite like a child height, or like low down, like it's a little cat or a dog or something.
Oh, okay.
And then the odd book flying off the shelf and things falling over and lights going on. But I don't know, none of us get scared by it. It's just like, oh yeah, okay. That's happened again.
Yeah. Other people would be freaking, wouldn't they? Oh my God. We go, oh, okay.
Yeah.
What about yourself, Luke?
Well, I was watching The Exorcist on Saturday, and something fell off the shelf.
But does that bother you?
No, it doesn't. No.
People looking in and they say, like Christine ended up having to get the house blessed, and they're blessed to stop it happening. But we just go, oh, hello, and just carry on. Like, other people that are not quite as spiritual as we are, they sort of think, how can you live in a haunted house? Don't you get scared? They probably say it to you, Angela, and say to us, how can you live in a haunted house? Are you not scared?
Yeah.
And
I guess if things like drawers opened and things flew out of them in front of me, that would be a different story then. But
yeah, I think that goes to another level, doesn't it, when that happens?
Yeah, or things like flying around the room. That's a bit different, that. Than just seeing like your shadow going past or something. But
yeah. But and you also get the feeling, don't you? There's someone there.
Yeah.
You think, oh, and you start looking behind you. Think, oh, that's really strange.
Yeah.
My daughter was being scratched. So it's turning quite demonic, isn't it? Really, when entities start to create harm, that's a different level of haunting, isn't it? Christine, I don't know if you can you obviously hear us, but do you know the history of your house or where it was built? Was it built, somewhere like that, haunted, or? You know, because sometimes it's in the land, isn't it? Not always the building on the land.
Yeah.
You know, maybe you battle against that as well, because we don't know what the houses are built on, do we? We just move in and
Yeah.
carry on their life as normal.
Farmland, this was.
Yeah.
What was it, Luke?
I think
Farmland.
my house was built on farmland. All the farm was, what farm it was.
Oh, okay. Hey, Julia's back.
God, don't even go there.
Okay. We're just talking about obviously haunted houses and stuff like that, Julia. It's a new house built by a railway. Oh, okay. Christine was saying that she had to get some priests in to have the house blessed because her daughter was getting scratched in the house, which was interesting. And we're just saying, you know, and it's probably the same as your house. That, you know, you live in a haunted house. Things happen. You go, all right, hello, is it you?
Yeah, I
carry
don't
on.
even do that. I just like, you know, you see the shadows out the corner of your eye, or you know, you're just like, oh, there it is again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you never inquired who it is, Julie? Have you never sort of said, who are you? Why are you here? Or you just leave it?
Do you know, I have done like, you know, where you put your phone onto video and you just like leave your mobile phone like on the table and you sort of say, you know, is anybody here talking to my phone type thing. And I've also sent the recordings to my friend who's got these like a really good sort of like program where you can like try and like cancel out a lot of the noise.
Okay.
And when I last did it, I sent it across to her and I said, what do you make of this? And she didn't know it was my house. She just thought it was a recording from, I don't know, Ghost Hunt or something like that.
Yeah.
And she came back and she said, oh, it's asking, I can't remember off the whole of it, but she said, oh, it's talking about a guy called Richard. And I like, okay. And she sort of gave me some other details. And I said, because I have a new neighbour called Richard, which was really odd at the time. But yeah, just generally, I can't do too much because it's a family home.
Yeah.
And I would like to know their names. There's two people I know of. I've taken photos of two people. But yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? Because this is also your family home. You don't want to like anything to escalate more than what it, you know, it's fine at the moment, you know, but you don't want it to escalate so that all your family members are like really petrified to go to bed. You don't want to, it's really hard, isn't it?
It's difficult, isn't it? When it's your own home, you sort of, things happen. You say, oh, hello, you here again? Or a knock or a tap, and you know, okay, you're here again then. Or you said, like we were saying just before you came back on, you said someone in the room. You know, we don't seem to freak us out, but other people probably go, and you say, they say, oh, is your house on? You say, well, it is, yeah, knocks and taps, and you hear voices, and I couldn't live in a haunted house. But like you say, Julia, it's as it is, isn't it? If you leave them alone, they leave you alone, don't they? And just carry on living together, I suppose.
Yeah.
They're in their bit, and you're in your bit. You know.
Yeah.
I suppose all the time I suppose they like being around you, maybe, or is it residual energy, or do they just like coming in and out to be nosy? That's what we often wonder.
It's hard to say, is it, without really making any firm contact with them.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to say really how they're feeling, but they seem quite content. Let's just say that. Some things, you know, you do get some things going missing sometimes, but whether it's just us, you think, oh, you know, someone's put it down and someone's moved it, you know, with lots of people in the house type thing. But, you know, some things just seem to, not often, but occasionally you'll get something that disappears and you know you've looked there and then all of a sudden it's there and you're like, okay, not quite sure how that suddenly appeared, but okay, thank you. And it's maybe something that, you know, you really need.
It always seems to be that, doesn't it? Gemma's put, there is no way I would live in my house if there was a ghost I knew about it. I'd be selling it 100%. Oh, come on, Gemma. You wouldn't be doing that. The ghost would want your energy, your lovely energy there. It wouldn't want you to move. It won't let you move. It'll lock all the doors, Gemma. You'll be stuck there.
Well, this house, we've been here quite a long time now, and when the kids were at school, one of their friends' mums dropped one of the kids off for tea, or came to pick one of the kids up for tea. And she said, "Oh, I thought you lived there." And I went, No, this is my house. And she said, "Oh, we were going to buy the one next door to you, but we pulled out at the last minute because the estate agent said that a man had hung himself in that house."
Oh no.
And because she was a very, very religious lady, she said, "I just can't buy it knowing that." So she bought one round the corner. And yeah, I'm like, I don't know. If you love the house that much, would you still go ahead and purchase it? You know, if you really thought, I really love the house, okay, doesn't just because someone hung themselves in it doesn't mean to say it's haunted. Would you still go and buy it? You know, it's.
I guess it's how it made you feel, because you go and look around, and if you get a bad feeling, then I'd say no. But even if you knew that and you still had a good feeling about it, I'd say, why not then?
Yeah,
I mean,
but I think because she was like so deeply religious, it was a no for her, 100%
yeah,
no.
yeah. I suppose people associate it with bad energy, and if someone's sadly committed suicide, which is very sad that they've done it, you know, people think, oh, that's connected with the house. That's why they did it, and they obviously steer clear. It's a shame, really, because it could be the most beautiful house, and yet you just sort of look at it and say, nah. I think if I had the money and had the chance, I think I would buy a haunted house. I think if you leave them alone or you don't create an issue, then maybe they'll just carry on their normal day and get on with their normal life. It probably happens to everybody, doesn't it? You know, probably lots of people have haunted houses, just don't realise it because the spirits are getting on with their daily stuff and you're doing yours and you don't really notice it. And I think because we're open to it, we notice the little bits that people maybe miss. What do you think?
Yeah. Would you buy a house because it's haunted, though? Or not?
I don't know. I
don't think I'd go out the way to buy a haunted house, only because it's your family home, isn't it? And you've got your children, you've got your family there, and you and other people there. If you were on your own, would you buy a haunted house and live in the haunted house on your own? No way. No.
You wouldn't be on your own, would you?
You're not on your own because they're there.
No. Yeah.
No, because you've got no human person to sort of like go, you know, when you wake up in the middle of the night and you get scared, you know what, you know, oh my God, I hear footsteps. You've got no one to bounce off of, have you? You're like, it's really scary.
You say having another human there makes a difference. It don't really, does it? Because you're both be petrified, hanging on to each other in the corner of the bed, saying, "You go and have a look. No, you go and have a look. You go." You get into that scenario where I remember doing it as a child when I was young. You know, my nan's house was quite haunted, and I lived. Obviously, we used to stay there weekends when my two sisters had an elder sister and a twin sister, and I always remember kids going, "You go and look because there's a noise out there." I'm not going. You're the oldest one. You go. No, I'm not going. You're the youngest. It don't matter if you get injured. Go. And it was always, and I always remember we used to laugh at it. You know, my mum and dad used to say, "Don't be silly. There's nothing out there. What's the matter with you?" And you'd be huddled in the corner because you just knew there was something there, but they would never believe us. But it was always that funny scenario. Go on, you go and look. I'm not going. Go on. Go on. You're the man. You go. Yeah, what happens if someone grabs me? Well, that's all right. At least it's got you. You know, and we've done it here before where we've woken up and Jen's gone, "There's somebody here. Somebody in the house." And she wakes me up. "There's someone here. I can hear talking." So we'll go and have a look, Jen. No. You go and have a look. So I have to get up and have a look.
Let it get
and
you
even
first,
I'm wandering around. Even I'm wandering around going, if someone's standing there and I open the door, I'm thinking, what would I do? You know, what would you do if you open the door and there was this apparition standing there? All right, how you doing? Right, keep the noise down, keep the lights off. I'm going back to bed. I've got work in the morning.
Yeah.
And I know when we call that video here, the ghost here with the little girl, You know, Jen couldn't sleep for a few days after seeing that.
Oh,
She
no.
really freaked her out, even though, you know, what she does, you know, she talks to spirits, doesn't she, and all of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I knew she would wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, huffing and puffing, and say, "All right, Jen."
Oh.
Nah. I can't. I don't know. I can't sleep. I'm freaked. I said, "But you talk to them all the time." Yes, but talking to them is different than seeing them,
Yeah.
and in your own home. Like Julie was saying, it's in your own home, isn't it? It's your safe environment, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah.
You come in,
At least
shut
when you
your
do a
door,
ghost
shut
hunt,
your door.
you can come back and, like, you know, leave them at that venue, can't you? When you do a ghost hunt,
Yeah.
it's just, you know, you come home and it's different, isn't it?
Yeah, like you say, you walk out, shut the door behind you, and as far as you're concerned, obviously, where you're grounded, that's where they're staying, and they're not coming anywhere. But when you actually walk into your home, which is your safety zone, I suppose, isn't it? You, for want of the word, you get in, shut your door, you think, right, I'm home. All the ghosts can stay there. I'm home in a safe zone. But then walking back into your house and think, oh, now I've got to drive back to a haunted house. You know, are they going to feel the energy on me that I've just been all night looking for them? And
Oh, don't
I
say
don't
that.
know.
Don't say that. That's in my head now. I'll be coming home thinking,
No.
oh, can they feel that? Do they know I've just been on a ghost hunt? Are they going to? Yeah.
They probably put, oh, here she comes. Look, 3 o'clock in the morning, keeping out looking for us again.
We've been here all the time. Waiting to get home.
Yeah.
Once you go sleep,
Keeping out.
you know, half hour or so, we'll get you.
It was like that story that you said, Julia, where you saw that what looks like a games person, or what was
Oh,
it? Like
yes. Yeah,
halfway
like
through the bed.
a
Did that
like a
not freak you
gamekeeper.
out? Gamekeeper, sorry, yeah. Did that not freak you out?
Oh God, this was way before I started ghost hunting. Did it freak me out? At the time, I was so scared that I don't think I could have been much more terrified than what I was. Ghosts in the past. This was one that was actually, it's in the dark. You know, I was fast asleep. I was woken up by it. Sounds pretty wrong, doesn't it? But it was quite terrifying. And you know, you think, oh, you know, if you see a ghost, you're just going to run. Oh, I just run. I just leg it. But I was so terrified that I physically couldn't move out the room. I couldn't even scream because I was that terrified. That's how scared I was.
How did it wake you up then? Or you just felt it?
It was shaking my shoulder.
Oh, wow.
Like, so, you know, sort of like pushing my shoulder like that. And that's what woke me up, because I thought, you know, it was my mother half or something. And it, yeah, just my left shoulder here, it was just like going like that on my shoulder, pushing it like that. So it felt like someone was beside me, sort of going like that, trying to sort of wake me up. And I could just see the ghost just standing right through the bed. I could see the floor, even though the bed was there. I could see the floor. I could see the ghost. Yeah, it was really, really, really quite scary. I saw my auntie a few months ago. My uncle passed away last year, and she said that she was woken up in the middle of the night. And in the corner of the room, she said that she could see a figure with a silhouette type, like highlighted outline, like lit outline of him with like a silhouette. And she said, "Oh, I'm quite sure that was my late husband." And I said, "Yeah." I said, I think it was as well. But maybe they appear in the night because they know that you're more rested, and I don't know.
I think you're more alert at night, aren't you?
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. But I think if they appeared during the day, you'd probably be a bit more accepting, because I think you'd feel a bit safer in your surroundings in the daytime.
Yeah.
That's just my thought. So I would, if I was sitting on the sofa and, you know, I saw a ghost, I'd probably woke up and saw one. But yeah, it's quite.
Did you
Actually shaking my shoulder like that.
did you actually go back to sleep once it had gone, or you just sort of, you know, got up and run downstairs, or what did you do?
I don't know if it went. I was on my back when it woke me up, and I literally went upwards, and I thought, if I look at his face, I know it sounds silly, will I wake up in the morning if I see its face? Is it like some like possessed thing or something? And I thought, if I don't look at his face and I do wake up, I think, oh my God, I wish I'd looked at his face. I knew what I'd be like. And I thought, just look at his face, Julia. Down at me like that. Didn't say anything, he just looked at me, and then I just like looked straight up at the ceiling, closed my eyes, and I just said, go sit now, please go to sleep, please go to sleep, please go to sleep, please go to sleep, please go to sleep. And I think I just, you know, closed my eyes and just, you know, through sheer terror. But yeah, it was, so, you know, he could have stayed there till the morning, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just staring.
That was scary, wasn't it? Really. You had no sense of anything coming in. It was just there. Wasn't it? I can imagine. You can see how people say they get sleepy. You know, like you say, Julie, you just couldn't talk, couldn't move. Just. Do you think it was
just frozen sheer terror?
The sheer terror, or do you think it was controlling, stopping you moving? Do you think?
Pretty scared. I think it was because I was just so terrified, and I just looked up at the ceiling and just closed my eyes really tight and just said, please go sleep quick, please go sleep quick, please go sleep, please go sleep quick. And I must have just sort of like gone off to sleep very fast, but I thought, even if I don't go to sleep, I'm not going to open my eyes to look again.
I can go with that. Well, that isn't it?
That is what I was looking at.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? With many more years of experience now under your belt, isn't it? You know, you see something now, you'd say, "All right, okay."
Oh, I just whip my phone out. I'd be filming it because if I knew I've got some really good evidence and I put that up, you know, that's like gold dust, isn't it? If you were sitting there and a ghost came, I would get my phone, I would video that ghost, and I would be plastering it over all social media and every platform I could think of.
You would, yeah. That's the evidence everybody wants to get, isn't it? Really, at the end of the day, that's what we're in it for. It's like when we get a good EVP, isn't it? We're all getting really excited, and that's just a voice. You know, how excited would we be if one of us caught an actual apparition on a phone? It's just sheer excitement. You hear,
even if you one, I'll be posting yours everywhere. I think the best one you got was Bombay Sapphire. Those ones outside. Do you remember?
Yeah, them 3 people disappearing into the wall. Yeah.
And
that was just kind of. I was standing there with Ian. Yeah, I'll try and find it. I think I was standing there with Ian with the first in the car park, and I remember sort of Ian saying, "We're just looking around, saying, what a fantastic." And then I said, "Oh, I'm just going to take a quick video, just like I often take a video when I get there, just memory, isn't it? You just have it on your phone. You go, oh yeah, I remember when we did that one, or we did that one. That was a really good one. That was a slow night, but went really well." And you do that sort of thing, didn't you? And I just remember panning round, and I don't know. They were there, and there was nobody there. And then these 3 shadows like came along, and they just disappeared. And I'm like to Ian, "Oh, did they cross over the bridge?" He went, "Who?" I went, "The 3 people over there." He went, "What 3 people?" I said, "They went over a little bit of a bridge, looked around. I thought, well, there's nobody here." So we wound it back, and we both stood there and looked at it and went, no, look, there they are, there. And they actually disappear into the wall. And we even walked over to the wall, and it is a brick wall. And then later on in the evening, I asked one of the guides about the wall, and she said that would have been the entrance to the factory gates there. So interesting to see that they were obviously going to work, I suppose. I don't know, actually. I don't know what we caught that night. It was good evidence. I mean, but it's again one of them ones where you just pure luck, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right picture, right place, right time. Who knows? It's just one of them ones where you start the video, take a picture, and there they are. You know, Julie, you've taken some pictures, and Angela, back of it, think, how did I get that? You know what? I wasn't looking for that, and it was like the Bombay Sapphire. You know, I wasn't looking. I was just taking a picture of the building, thinking what a fantastic looking building this is, and there they were. You know, just straight in, straight through the wall and gone. Like, how can that be? You know, how? And that was a great place because we were standing near the tannoy. There's people talking on the tannoy outside one of the gates. That was a great place. I think we went inside, didn't we, Luke? Did we have some thing going on, a voice inside the dome, one of the domes, didn't we?
Yeah, like a siren, or like a sound, weird sound. I think it was like that.
Yeah, we couldn't work out where it was coming from, could we? It was like we know they blow a siren for tea break, or end of the shift, or whatever you want to. I didn't quite know what. And I even went outside. There was nothing outside. Coming back in, it was, where can that be in here if it's not outside?
I remember the greenhouse.
I enjoyed that. It was.
With the greenhouse, we had before, you know, like when the lady was showing me around, she said we can change the colour of the lights. And anyway, I thought I'd have a bit of a game with someone. So anyway, we were just like walking around and everything, you know, it's like halfway through the night. I said to the lady, can you change the lights to red? And she said, sure, I'll turn the lights to red. So she changed the lights to red. And I got Ian. I said, Ian, I've got a surprise for you. Because he supports Liverpool. And he said, what? I went, what? And I said, the greenhouse. I said, and he went, oh, because the lights are red. And I'm like, yeah, I did it for you. And he went, you did it? I said, yeah, I've changed them. And he went, and he was just like, he started laughing. He's like, oh my God, you know, he goes, yeah. I said, yeah, I said, you support Liverpool, so I've changed the lights to red for you. And we had a bit of a giggle over it. But yeah, it's Sapphire. But I think it's one of those places where, you know, I don't know whether I do it too often. It's a great place, but I think it needs a bit of a rest. And I remember the first time we did it with Darren, we had a group. But yeah, I think I
think that's where we were sitting in the tea room in the base. I think Luke was there and someone was whistling.
Yeah,
one of the. Do you remember that? And one of the tour guides, they heard this whistle from the room. You know, and she's like, well, we've never heard that before, and there's nobody there, it was just us. And it literally was a very, very clear audible, and you heard it with your own ear, a whistle in response. It was
then go into the wall. If they open that side of the building, I think it would be absolutely awesome.
Yeah.
You know, that area, I think it would be absolutely awesome, that side.
I think there's a lot of energy there. Yes. Yeah. Interesting place. I mean,
and it's the people, isn't it? It's the people you get. You know, if you get some strange people, it makes it a strange night.
It's difficult, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the unbelievers and people that don't really believe only come along because a girlfriend wanted me to come along. and they're the type of people who make it a difficult night for you, don't they? Because you sit there with a long face like that, and thinking, please, just join in, do something. And I had that. Where was I? What's that place in Caterham? Oh, it come to me. It was a Canadian Air Force base during the Second World War. They trained Canadian aircraft pilot Robert Denholm House. That was it. And there was a guy there, quite a big, stocky guy, obviously a bodybuilder. Welcome. I said, "Have you done this before?" "No, not interested, really, mate." I thought, okay. I said, "Well, you never know what will happen tonight. Nothing will happen. I've only come because she wanted me to come." So, all right, okay, not to worry, and chin up. It's something will happen. It's whatever. I thought, "Cool, you're going to be a difficult customer when you're starting to split up in groups." And I said to him, and I knew the basement was haunted because I'd been down there before, because we'd done it a couple of times before. I remember going down there with him. I said, "Why are you coming with me? We're just going to get something stirred up or whatever." But that sort of attitude. So we went down the basement, and it really did kick off. Even I was jumping. It was really made me jump because the door swung open, and you felt something rush past you. And tried 2 or 3 times, the door banged, and he was saying, "Well, it's got to be the wind." So we looked inside. It was just a storeroom. And on the 3rd time, the door banged, swung open, and something rushed past us. That wind is something rushing past you. And the next thing I do is I turn around, and he's running. He's literally running down the basement, up the stairs and out in the car park with a cigarette, standing in the car park like that. I sort of sit in the basement anyway, isn't it? And he eventually found the fire exit because it was just a little sign. And I sort of said to Spirit, "Thank you, Spirit, for doing that. We really appreciate it." Because you've got to be nice to them, haven't you? Because they've made the effort. So when I went out in the car park, they'd just come out. His girlfriend said, "Well, where is he?" I said, "I think he's in the car park going to smoke." And she's gone out there. He said, "You ain't going to believe what's happened to us." She said, "But you don't believe in it." He said, "Well, I know what I felt and what was going on down there, and that's not natural." Going from a skeptic, and he really started to enjoy the evening after that because he just had that one experience that he couldn't explain. And he was a completely different person, but it was interesting to see someone go from a really skeptical position to thinking, "You know what, there could be something in this." And that's all you want to do, isn't it, really? At the end of the evening, you walk out with a big smile on their face and get them thinking.
Even if they just take, take something away from the event, it just makes it all the more, you feel like you've done your part in the event. You feel like you've done your part, and they've actually learned something or experienced something and taken that away, with them. But yeah, we had that at Shep. Do you remember at Shepton Mallet we had that lady standing outside, and she was like, "Oh, I've only come, I don't want to be here," and I think I was talking to her. She said I wasn't allowed to park outside, and I said, "I'm just waiting for the gate to open, and I'm going to park in there." And she said, "You're not allowed to park in there." And I thought, "Well, I'm running it up the building." So I'm like, I don't think you're the one to tell me I'm not allowed to park in there. That's the owners of the building. And, they're just tell me if I'm allowed to park in there or not. But yeah, she was just like, on a negative from the off. And I think they just didn't want to be there, or 3/4 away through, something like that. But yeah,
Makes you wonder why, doesn't it? And if you're in a group with them, that's really put the mockers on getting any energy, because spirits see that, don't they? And you think, this is going to be hard. This is going to be hard to get this group to really experience something special. And it is, isn't it? When things, cat balls go, things move, doors slam, voices, and it's quite something special, isn't it, really? Considering you could sit there all night.
Or you get the other side where they turn up and they are like they profess they're a medium, and you know, they're highly sensitive and everything, and then they sort of like ruin on certain experiments, and you're like, okay, right. So we've got the other side of the spectrum where they're, you know, they really want, desperate for something to happen to them, which is fantastic, but you know, they sort of like overcompensate.
That's exactly it, isn't it? Yeah.
But yeah, I've experienced that. It's a difficult one because you want to please everybody. You want to have a good event. You want to run a good event, and you want to have, you know, the professionalism, and you want to really sort of give people a really good value for money. But you know, it's the people as well. It's not just the host; it's the people, and you know, for them just to make it a little bit easier on the hosts. You know, it is a fun event. You know, and it's supposed to be entertainment.
That's the thing.
You know, there's no need for them to sort of like.
Yeah. That's the thing. You want them to leave with a big smile on their face, say, "I had a fantastic night. Thank you, happy." You know, they had a fantastic night. And most times you do get mainly 3/4, if not more of them, say, "What a fantastic night we've had. You know, we've experienced this," and you hear them talking to each other, walking away. And if they're talking to each other, you know, you've not done your job, but they're happy. You know, it's always nice to see that, isn't it? And then, because you don't often get much feedback from people after you've done the event. Do you get much feedback, Julia, from people for Paranation?
Yes, sometimes, you know, sometimes, you know, people will, like, if I put a comment in the group, or they might message me. But yeah. And, you know, when they're leaving, they sort of say, "Oh, we've had a great night, thank you very much," that sort of thing. So, yeah, sometimes we get some good feedback. I'm not saying we get bad feedback.
No,
but
no.
Sometimes we get feedback.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's, yeah, I guess people just sort of thank you on the night, and, you know, but, yeah,
It makes it worth it, doesn't it? When you get that feedback, you know, you don't often, like you say, if someone, you know, you get a lot of feedback, you think, well, you know what, we're doing all right, we're going the right way, because people have experienced what they wanted to experience. You know, and that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, you make it friendly.
It's very, very rare. Negative. Very, you know, everyone seems to have a good time. Everyone seems to leave and be happy, and
especially when you've had an.
It's good value for money. Got like 6 hours of entertainment.
Well, yeah, and you're getting all that.
For something like £30 or something. It's great.
Yeah, you're getting all them expertise of the HUD team. You know, 20 odd years of expertise along with it for the price of the ticket. You know, and you're there to make sure that they're obviously safe, that they have a good night, and if they have a good night, we've had a good night, because you've had all sorts.
We've got our own strengths, and we've all got our own individual interests within the ghost hunting world. You know, I quite like videos and photos. I think if I, you know, that makes my night. Or a ghost, and what I believe is to be a ghost and a photo. You know, Paul, yourself with your EVP. You know, it's just, we've all got our own interests that we like to, and you know, if people sort of work their way around the different members of the team, they'll see the previous person, because that person's got a different interest and wants to try this, or you know, some people are more, you know, on the sort of like watch and wait type thing, and so it's it's a good haunted experience.
That's what you want.
Watching.
So they see the camera stuff, they see the voices, they see the boards, they see the dowsing and all the different types of experiments that you do. Like you say, it gives them an all-round view of ghost hunting, isn't it? Traditional, as well as using apps, as well as using cameras, as well as using their own bodies. You know, what can you feel? If you feel something, tell us. You know, don't be afraid to ask the question, or like a human pendulum. You know, if you have a question, say it. You know, there's never a stupid question. There never is. You know, so it's like encouragement. And once they get over that bit of the barrier, because you imagine you're in a room with 35 people and probably half of them don't even know each other.
Yeah.
So you think, well, I'm not going to say anything. And everybody's looking at the floor because they will look at each other. But you've got to try and push people over that. Once they get over that initial introduction type thing, then you see them the rest of the night say, again, oh yeah, we had a great night. We was with this group, we got this. So we wandered off to that group and got that. And you think, well, you come from a person that looking at the floor and wouldn't want to say anything to, at the end of the night, having a fantastic outcome. You know, so you've got Mirror's book coming up. Is it next weekend or this weekend?
Yes. Last time we went was beginning of August. So it's been a little while since we were last there. Yeah. We're looking forward to going and seeing what we get. So
Don't
fingers
you
crossed
never
for a
did
good
before.
night.
You
Yeah.
don't need to cross your fingers. Well, you know what to do when you first go. They'll
See
come.
if anybody's in
They'll
there.
come and play.
I've got a caretaker's phone number as well. So
Yeah. Well, if you get stuck, still got it on my phone somewhere. So if you do get stuck, I can ping it over to you. So we've got it if you need it. Hopefully they'll be open and ready to go for you this time, and you're not sort of getting on the verge of panicking.
yeah. And also it's winter. I don't think we've done one in the winter there. So you know, it'd be quite nice to go turn up in the dark and you know, and it'd be like spooky before we start.
Yeah.
Won't it? So
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to finding out a bit more about that tree. Looking forward to find out build up a bit of a picture now of what we've experienced over the last couple of visits. So yeah.
There's more to uncover in the garden. Let me say that.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's warming up. I'm not saying that we've had like the more we go, the more it's given us. Activity wise.
It's like standing by the tree when Lean got hit by the stone and the rat and the bushes and the crashing of like someone's walking through the bush. All of that will start to come to more. So bearing in mind, you know, it's past, it's history, so there's a lot of more things to uncover there. You know, as I say, we did it previously and fantastic nights there. Fantastic nights. And it's just like walking, going home, you know, when we first walked in there, after 10 or 11 years of not being there, it's like, home. You know, remember we stood there and called for the children, Julia?
Yeah, we heard the footsteps. And it's a great place. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to it, and
it won't disappoint.
now it's sort of like really wintry.
We did one with
getting
a group.
Season, so.
We did one on Halloween night there, which was a good night. That was the first night I saw my first apparition there, Halloween night. It's quite spooky on Halloween.
We're doing it the first, so a bit of the Halloween-y type energy there. But thinking about it, maybe I could have done it on the Friday night, but I don't know why. I don't know. I guess I felt people might be.
It's difficult getting people there on a weeknight, isn't it? Yeah. People come in from work, rush home, get changed and rush back out. It's whether their energy's a bit low when they get there because they've been rushing around. When it's on a Saturday, you know, I know a lot of people do work on Saturday, don't they? But you have that afternoon to sort of wind yourself down from the week and then go there with quite a fresh energy. And it's a good way of doing it, really, at the weekend. I know it's after Halloween, but we were lucky because Halloween dropped on a Saturday night, I think. And we put cobwebs and pumpkins and all sorts of bits in that foyer, where the square table is, just to add to the feel of it, how it is. But it was quite a good night. So, and what's your next one after that then?
The next one is Cogs Manor Farm up in Whitney.
Okay.
Last time we went there was last year, and I can't explain the weird things that happened. Just weird. So yeah, looking forward to going back there, and hoping to try and make sense of what we experienced last time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that Halloween one, isn't it? That's
Nice.
I don't even know where I am. Yeah. So next
Yeah.
Saturday is Merriswood, and then the 1st of November we've got Cogs Manor. So yeah, Cogs Manor is our
Halloween.
sort of Halloweeny type one. So
Nice.
yeah.
That should be a good event.
And did you do that one last? Did you do that last year, Paul? Cogs Manor?
No, I did Shaw House. I haven't been to Cogs Manor, no. I think the last one I did at Halloween was Shaw House, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
When we were there.
yeah. It's an interesting place. When we were leaving, someone sent me a message. 2 women left a little bit before I did. They sent me an email and they said, when you leave, I hope you're not leaving on your own because there's a strange man at the gate. So I replied to the email, so no, we're just packing up now, and people are leaving with me. We're getting in our cars, people leave with me. Gemma, Cheryl and Thomas, they had to walk out the gate round the corner. And then Cheryl sent me a message, or Gemma did, and it might have been Gemma, saying, oh my God, we walked out, there's a strange man outside, looked like, I don't know, fun or something, he was smoking, but there's no smoke, there's no smell of smoke. He just gets to stare. And this is about 2:20 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning. So what on earth is anyone just standing outside the driveway of Cogs Manor? Why is someone just standing there? They shouldn't even be standing there.
Yeah.
They shouldn't even be there. A little bit before that, we were packing up the car. We're just standing out talking on the driveway. We looked across, and walking down the road was about, I'd say probably about 20 people, men and women. It was like orange lighting, so they all looked like they're party wear. So it wasn't as if they'd just come out of a party, but it's about 2:20 in the morning, 2:15 on a Sunday morning. So if they were at like a village hall, which I don't know where a village hall would be, you'd hear the click clop of high heels, and they just seemed to be like muttering. And if they're like being out drinking, they'd be a bit rowdy, a bit noisy, but there was none of that. They were all just walking up the road, and then some went off one way, some went off the other way. And you're like, oh, did they go out for the day or something? But what if you went out for the day, or were they at a party at the local village hall, or where did these people come from? There was, a lot of them, like 20, something like that.
From the other side.
Just they didn't, like look over or stop or stare or no. It was just
quite a
weird.
strange situation.
You were there.
Isn't it?
You were there on that one, weren't you, Luke?
Yeah, I was. Yeah,
Did you see those people?
yeah. I saw the man. Saw the man. He looked like a farmer a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strange.
Yeah. And what would you be doing there? At, like, gone to thing was just, and that was just at the end of the
Who
night.
knows?
People were on the upper floor, and they were sitting in one of the bedrooms, and they could hear footsteps running towards them along the landing. The floor is like a very dark wood, very dark wooden floor, and you could, they said, come here, come sit in here. I think Martin was in the room and some other people, Michelle there, and you could hear the footsteps like running towards you. I was trying to video it. It might be on video somewhere, but yeah, I had to sell it. The whole thing was just, it was a really weird place. That's all I can say. So
Nice.
yeah, I needed a year to get over it before. Yeah, it's just trying to make sense of these people. These people walking up the road. And what was the man doing outside the premises? He didn't like call over and say, "Oh, what's going on here?" or anything.
No.
Strange, isn't it? Don't know what you walked out to do. A change somehow. Anyway, we're doing a charity event just finally for the English Heritage at Fort Brockhurst in Gosport, I think that is where it's located. So it's all for charity because English Heritage are a charity and they can't keep all these forts going without donations. So they approached us to do a paranormal night on the 25th of October. So if you go onto the Host for Ghosts website, there's a link there for tickets if you're interested. And so it all goes to the upkeep in all these places. It's keeping history alive. So we'll all be doing our bit for them and the charity. So which is a nice thing to do. Some of us can't make it. Some of us are on holiday, but maybe other times we'll get. You never know. We'll get.
Sadly,
yes, unfortunately, Julia's away.
Sadly, I can't make that one.
Yeah,
I'm on holiday at that time, but I wish you all the best for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's a good cause, and it's we need to keep these historic forts, in good repair. Don't
we? Do. We could do it. We can do our bit to help out from the paranormal side of it as a team. As all of us. Then that's what we'll be doing on the 25th. So if you want your tickets, go to the Host for Ghosts website. And also it's all over the English Heritage Facebook, social media and all of that. So they're doing their bit to push it. We only have 35 tickets. We're looking forward to it. It's a new experience for us in doing that. So we're all quite looking forward to it. They're really up for it because obviously it's going to generate money, so they can do different. They've just done one of the barracks up with the uniforms and beds and all that, which is really nice. They may let us have a few hours in there, but it's all to help basically to keep our history alive. Because once these forts go, unfortunately these places are crumbling quick, and they need fortunes of money to keep them going. And it's lovely to go. 25th, they're open all day. Children go free to have Halloween, have a massive Halloween day there, and then we're following up in the evening from 7:30. So go on to the website, book your tickets. As I say, it all goes to charity. So they get it, they tell us, and we pay them. Because obviously, as a charity, it's a bit more difficult for them selling tickets because apparently there's a lot of red tape that they have to go through. But if we sell them, then they give us an invoice and we just send it all over, and that's classed as a donation. So be it. If that's a good bit of money for them to keep that fort going, then so be it. So hopefully there'll be many more charity nights we can do for them as a group, as a whole. So we're quite looking forward to that. As I say, go onto their website. The tickets are right down about ticket source. Click on it. It takes you straight through to the booking, and then you just book your tickets there. They are selling fastly, not massively quick, but they are going, chunks, 4 or 5 at a time. So it's not as though it's gone zip and sold out. It's like we was discussing earlier, Julie. They're sort of gradually going out, so which is fine. You'll take, 35 tickets, you take 30 people. If that's 30 people, that's how it is. That's just how it goes at the moment. So we're looking forward to that. So any questions coming, Andrew, or anything for any of us?
Nope. All good.
Okay. So I hope you enjoyed tonight talking about the Conjuring House, and obviously would you buy a haunted house? Would you live in it? Would you have it as a tourist attraction, shall we say? I'm not so sure I'd open a Conjuring House, being that it's got quite a history of evil. Whether I would, I think it'd be one of them on your bucket list. I'd tick off and say, been there, done that, but wouldn't go back. A bit like going to Poland last week, you know, as an experience that you want to do, albeit morbid, but, you know, it's a one to tick off, and who knows where we'll end up next time.
Would you
So
go back?
Sorry? Yeah, I probably would, because I think there's bits there. You're walking around in a group of people. It's very humbling. Put it this way, it's very humbling. Although she's talking to you, you're just so fixated on the posters with the stories of what had happened and why and where or how and what they did, and you're so fixated on them, thinking, "Oh my God!" You forget to listen to what she's saying, and it literally is. As soon as you walk into the buildings, you're just blown away. You know, obviously, us being spiritual like we are, you feel the energy in there as well. You know, and you're walking around and literally have tears running down your eyes. You know, it's that powerful in there, because it's just such a sad place. You know, it's just. I would go back. My sister wants to go back, so we probably would go back in the new year now. Give it a bit of a break, get over it. You know, it's a place you tick off. It's not a place you say, I really enjoyed it, but it's trying to explain how you had a great time, but it's not a great place. Do you understand what I mean? It's difficult to put in words how you feel about it.
Thank
Bless
you.
But yeah, I would go back. Yeah, with some different people. I mean, with South and Jen and that went. We had a fantastic time. Very great, very hospitable people. Lovely, you know, warm welcomes, and the apartment we had in Krakow was really nice, and the food was just spectacular food. It was so nice, cheap as chips as well. Really cheap food, but fantastic. We had a great 3 days there. You know, Jen partying in the square and all that type of stuff. You know, she had over 800 views on that dance.
Really? Oh, bless her.
I don't even know 800 people. So I don't know how she's done that, but we looked the other day and it said 822 views.
Oh,
So
well
who knows?
done.
She is funny. She's she don't care. She just gets in it and gets on with it. So good for her. So it only remains for me to say thank you for tuning in tonight. I hope you enjoyed what we were talking about, and thank you for your comments, Gemma and Christine and the others. So thank you very much. So everybody have a very, very safe week, and we will see you with the results from Mirriswood next Monday. To Julia, Luke, you're going to Mirriswood?
Yeah, yeah.
So there you go. Monday's all about you two.
Yeah.
So enjoy your weekend. Have a fantastic investigation at Mirriswood.
Thank you.
You know what you're looking for, and I'm sure they won't disappoint, and everybody won't be disappointed. It is a fantastic location. So well done, Julia. So it only remains me to say thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you all next week.